Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler is not here. Our toilet is broken.
Oh man, I think Butler did it.
If you look in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see Michael Wanzie, and we don't need to introduce him really. You know who he is.
Yeah.
Super talented, super funny. But here, I just want to get Wanzie to weigh in on something for a second. Butler was supposed to fix the toilet. He was supposed to swing by Home Depot and get the guts for the toilet, and then bring them in the morning. But he didn't do it because he's consistently getting high on the marijuana before he comes to work. So what would you say, Michael, to our young? You've met Butler before, right? A young, good-looking boy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We have a younger.
He's older than I am.
He is older, but he looks younger than you. Oh, he's here. He's here.
Yes.
He's here. But what would you say to him?
Screw the toilet.
All right.
Fix the turlet. You got to fix the turlet. Michael, what's going on, man? How you been?
Well, I'm all right now. Now that the Fringe Festival is coming and I have something to do. I lost all my performing gigs during the pandemic, and the dinner theater Sluice closed down for a while. The Parliament House closed and then eventually got torn down, and I lost my theater.
Yeah.
So that was my home theater for almost 40 years.
Sure.
Through 3 sets of owners. That's where I premiered my shows. So it's been a sucky year, and it's full of, you cannot believe how many people I know who died this past year. It was just relentless. Yeah. Just one person after another. I had so much loss. It was really getting ready to slip into depression. And finally, they announced they were going to have the Fringe Festival this year because it got canceled last year. And so dove into doing my show, and now I feel better.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's and I'm glad you mentioned that though, because it's kind of.
I'm just laughing because Wanzie's so dry. I'm glad you asked because I was in this whole thing. It's just it sucks. And the past year has sucked, Michael.
But he's bringing us something important, because as a performer, as a writer, as a producer, as somebody who likes to normally your natural environment to me in meeting you is you doing something to make people laugh, doing something to make people smile. And if you're not doing that, then occasionally you'll dip your toe into making people think. Okay?
Right.
I think that's pretty fair. But so how are you, how do you find courage or whatever to even try to tell a story again after this type of thing? Because we've been doing it in here. I have to just kind of shut it out and just come in here and use this as sort of my therapy. Do you do that as well?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Rehearsal is my therapy. So for you, it's just getting on with the business of putting on your show. Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I did though early on is I wrote a play specifically. Not just to, a lot of people started reading plays online or showing films of plays that they'd already produced online. I wrote a show where the premise of the show was actually a Zoom call, and the actors in it were in different states and cities, and the director was in another town, and but it was written to be a family reunion Zoom call. And I marketed that, and it did really, really well. And we all made a nice chunk of change. Nice. And it was one of the few things that you could watch where you didn't feel you were missing anything, because it wasn't being done in a different format. It was written for that format.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I got creative in that way.
I mean, Michael, I feel everybody had to pivot, and we've talked to a bunch of performers, whether it's comedians, bands, musicians that have had to, they started doing Zoom and trying to figure out, can I do this a different way?
And some people can and some people can't. We've had comedian buddies of ours like Carmen Morales, who she hit it out of the park and did very well with her she had a Social D is what she called it, Social D comedy, and it became like a brand, and it did really, really well. And then we've had other people that come in and say, that's not me. I can't do that. I have to be outside. I have to be in front of real people.
Can't do it that way, and can't do it without an audience responding. It's difficult. Yeah. And speaking to that, one of the things I am proud of over the last year is suddenly we started to realize I'm lucky because I'm older than Christ underwear. So I had taken early retirement Social Security and just before this happened, without knowing this was going to happen. And it's I don't know what it would. I'd be living under I-4 in a box had I not done that, because my Social Security is what's not enough to live on, but at least seeing me through.
Sure.
But I just was hearing from all friends who were like having to give up their apartments and move out of state and to go live with relatives because they lost their performing gig at Disney or Universal or Orlando Shakespeare Theater or whatnot. And it was really getting to the point where we were having, unbeknownst to the general public, we were having this exodus of talent that was leaving our area. And we thought, well, we got to do something. So my friends Kenny Howard and Rick Sharon and I, we did a webathon. And we got all these people to perform live. We did this really, really early on before it became a thing. It was like Rosie O'Donnell and Seth Rudetsky and us. Anyway, we did this webathon, and it was about 3.5 hours long, and we raised $7,000.
Nice.
And so we just started handing out $100 gifts without any question to anyone who just wrote and said they needed the money. That sense has parlayed into all of the heads of all the big theater companies and groups and whatnot have all come together. And now we've made an actual permanent charity called GOPAR, Greater Orlando Performing Arts Relief. And we've helped dozens and dozens of people pay their rent, pay their car payment, keep their phone on.
That's awesome.
Whatever. And for a new charity begun during the pandemic, I think it's pretty outstanding that we've raised over $100,000 now.
Oh my God. Congratulations, man. That's incredible. Yeah. And I think I remember that. You guys were pulling in some pretty heavy hitters from Broadway, weren't you?
We had been involved in producing From Broadway with Love for Orlando, which was where all the Broadway stars who came down and performed at the Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts for the Pulse survivors and their families to do something feel good for them and raise some money for the One Pulse Foundation and whatnot. So we had been personally involved with a bunch of Broadway stars related to that, and so we were able to we did these telethons every week for about 3 months, and we had all kinds of Broadway stars. As a matter of fact, Seth Rudetsky, who is known as Mr. Broadway, he hosts a thing called Stars in the House every night, and they raise money for the Actors Fund of America. And we got a hold of him, and one night just before Christmas, they did the show and had myself on with all the Broadway stars who ever started in Orlando, and there's quite a few.
Yeah. And
so it was a big reunion of Orlando-born Broadway stars and me, and he raised $7,000 in just that 1 hour show.
That's crazy. So, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's important. I mean, with the pandemic, it was getting to the point where, when the pandemic's over, we're not going to have any actors left in town to come back to the stage.
Right. Well, let's get to that because Sam and I were looking at, and I knew you were doing a big Fringe show, and I knew that it was coming up. I knew that it was maybe a little more adult, maybe a little crazier, maybe a little spicier than normal. I was interested in it, and then Sam, you told me. Are you doing more than one show, Michael?
You've at least written more than one, correct?
Well, not for this year. This is the only one I'm doing this year.
Gotcha. Oh, because the one that I have here is I'll let you tell Tom about it because here, and I'll hand this to you. Just look at some of the topics that are covered within this particular new production by Wanzie. Wanzie, what's it called? And I want to see Tom's eyes.
It's called It All Started at the Radisson Inn. It's
a sexual comedy, Tom.
A somewhat fictional account of, based though upon my real life experiences. And so it is about the party drug ecstasy, and it involves master slave role play, foot fetishism.
All right.
These are all things Tom's into.
Emotional meltdown. It's all in there. It's a broad comedy that will also make a lot of people cry, which is sort of my roller coaster writing brand that I'm known for.
I like that.
Some tears, laughter through tears sort of thing. But basically, it's a story of, my shows at Fringe are usually big set pieces and lavish costumes, and like Monorail Inferno had 18 people in it. This is just 3 people. And basically, in a nutshell, there's a straight guy. His name is Brett. He's just finishing up a convention, and he's at the Radisson Inn. And he's waiting for the elevator, and there's a door open to a suite down the hall, and he can hear this music blaring, and he goes to check it out, and it's basically a rave that's happening for this gay guy is throwing in his suite. And he slips in, and turns out he and the gay guy named Connor bond over doing ecstasy together. And Connor has a master slave role play fetish thing going on, and he likes to do, especially when he's rolling, and he has a foot fetish, and there's other things involved. And anyway, the two of them really become friends, and they start meeting on a regular basis to have these sessions. However, Brett, the straight guy, is engaged to be married to Julie, who is the third character. And luckily, Julie has to go take care of her sick mother in another state for a while, and Connor ends up moving in with her fiance without her knowing it. Then she shows up unexpectedly and finds out about the situation, and then all hell breaks loose.
All right, so there you go.
And that's as much as you need to know.
I know what you're going to ask, but go ahead.
Well, I got a couple questions.
That sounds awesome,
Michael.
by the way.
Well,
Sam, would you like to accompany me to that?
Yes, I would.
Oh, by the way, Gold Venue, I believe it starts on the 21st. 9:45 is the first time, I believe, that I think that's correct. That's the first time you can see it.
Yes, yep. As a matter of fact, we have great ticket sales, but very few for our opening night for some strange reason. So we'd love, if you come on opening night, you can come meet the cast afterwards in the Flamingo Lounge, which is, there's a vendor lawn at Fringe where there's a beer tent and wine and whatnot. I have my own tent where I set up my own cocktail lounge called Wanzie's Flamingo Lounge. I don't sell liquor, and you're not allowed to bring your own liquor in, but I do for opening night, and we give out free lemon drop shots to anyone who comes to opening night.
It's fun,
on Friday the 21st at 9:45. But there's 7 shows of it through a night and day, weekends, weeknights, throughout the 15-day festival. And if you're interested in tickets, it's really easy. It's Orlando Fringe, FRINGE.org.
Yep.
OrlandoFringe.org. Click on look at the program, then alphabetical listings, and mine will come up under I for It All Started at the Radisson.
Yep, find that one. Gold Venue, again, opens on the 21st. But if you've never been to Fringe, it's very...
buy the pass.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy this year because people are dying to get out.
Dare I say that's probably why you don't have a lot of tickets left, is because people want that opening night. They're like sick of being inside. I'm ready.
Normally, people don't... Pre-sales are very minimal,
right?
Because it's not unusual for me to be at opening day of the festival and only have sold 30 or 40 tickets. And right now, my pre-sales are close to 300. So people clearly are anxious to get back. And the theaters are being sat with some COVID safety issues in mind. They're not allowing every seat to be filled. They've got cardboard cutouts of people in seats to still make it look like a real audience. But so the actors have to have masks on. Ours are clear, so you can see their whole face.
Oh, that's cool.
And the audience have to have masks on. But if you've never been before, it's a wonderful event. You pay $10 to get a Fringe button, which you can also get at OrlandoFringe.org. And the button is your entry to the festival that doesn't actually have like a gate or anything. And then you buy tickets for the individual shows you want to see. 100% of the ticket money goes back to the artist and not to the festival. But you can't get in with a ticket unless you have a button on.
Yeah. See how that works? Like buttons for them, tickets for them.
Right.
It's worked out so well though, and it is cool that like he brings up the best part of this is that the money does go to the man who wrote the show. You know what I mean? Like I love that.
And we're gonna have
to be a true Fringe festival. The criteria is that it has to be non-juried, which means that you put your name into a lottery every year because there's more people who want to do shows, and there are spaces available. So it's by lottery, and no one at Fringe has read your play. So it has to be unjuried, so that it can't be some snobby person saying, "Oh, I'm not going to let Michael Wanzie do this show that's about master slave role play."
Right.
So no one's making any decisions. It's strictly a lottery. So it has to be unjuried, has to be uncensored. So you get a lot of nudity at Fringe. You get a lot of adult language, a lot of adult situations. And the third thing is that 100% of the ticket price has to go back to the arts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
and that's what makes it a Fringe festival.
Yeah, I love it.
And we're doing Fringe Week next week. We're having tons of performers.
Next week's gonna be hard for us because we're gonna have people coming and zooming and all over the place.
And so, Michael, I want to ask you about Parliament House because I know you.
Rest in peace, right?
Yeah.
Man, that bummed me out.
It did bum me out too, and I swore. And
I've never been. I never got to go.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! You never saw a
tragic.
show there?
No.
Banished from the city.
I know.
I mean, like,
So-
honestly,
Wow.
if you can't make it now, and I'm not exaggerating. If you can't, obviously you can't make it now, but if you never got to go, you really did
blew it.
You missed out on
Yeah.
something super awesome, man.
Well, Michael,
Yeah.
I swear that when I first heard about Parliament House closing, I thought it was going to be a Wally scenario, and follow me here, because when Wally's announced their closing, like there was a huge push to like save Wally's, it's an Orlando staple. Then
Multiple friends I've reached out about the Parliament House, and I thought they were doing something.
So then someone bought it, revamped it, and now it still exists. And it seemed to me like a brilliant marketing ploy by the owner or whatever to like say they're closing, get a huge push that would cause potential buyers, or they had a buyer and they knew they were going to do this like an extreme marketing push, and then now obviously it continues to live. I thought that I was like, oh, that's what they're doing with Parliament House. Like, it's going to freak everybody out. Like, we got to save it.
What did happen?
Someone's going to come in and buy it, and then they're going to do it was a big marketing push, and it'll be at Orlando because it's an Orlando
iconic.
staple,
Yeah, right.
iconic place. So what do you, I mean, I don't know if you could, what happened? Sorry. That's how I ask questions.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
The longest what happened I've ever
Hold on. That's why he's a writer. There's the shirt. It's the longest what happened I've ever heard.
Sorry.
Well, to be truthful, the community is bewildered ourselves. It's sort of a mixed bag of feelings. Don and Susan, who bought the place in December of '99, and immediately dumped $1.2 million into renovating it and cleaning it up, and brought it back to life. And not only were good stewards of the Parliament House, but became one of the most philanthropic people in the gay community.
Sure.
And neither of them being gay, they gave constantly gave their theater over to fundraisers, and then would match the funds raised with a donation. I mean, they were incredible. They're the reason we have we have this huge gay pride thing. They kicked it off when we were starting it with the $10,000 donation. I mean, they were amazing people. They employed me for about 5 years as a manager of the theater, and were very good to me. Every deal we ever had was on a handshake, and they made good on every deal we ever struck. And we were producing partners for years, and I just love them. But none of us can understand what happened mismanagement wise with money, because the place was an absolute gold mine. And I don't know. It took a turn, quite frankly, when they eventually all of their children from Canada came down and ended up working there. And one son in particular was being groomed to be the manager, but he was never there at night. And so I don't know how he knew what was best when he only worked during the day, when it was an evening place.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something went terribly awry with financing, and in fact, you think it was like a ploy, but it wasn't. It seemed like every 6 months for the last 4 years they were under threat of foreclosure. They actually went into receivership at one point, and all the bank people were on property, and very few people come out of receivership, but they managed to get out from under it, and so they were squeaking by with paying the piper, and then the pandemic hit, and they were closed for several months, and then even when they did open up, the numbers never came back, and that was their death knell.
Sure.
But I would think, and Michael, I'm sure you thought about this, and other people there would be a person that would come in and buy the place just to save it, to continue it.
Or I always thought somebody would buy it and make it even larger because it.
Yeah, there's a lot of rich people that look at like a place like that, like you said, it was always busy. It was a staple in Orlando. It could get bigger, through social media and just the amount of tourism that we have.
Become like the only. Well, I don't know if it's the only, but like the let's say the top dog,
like the Mecca
destination gay resort. Who wouldn't want to own that? I would want to own that.
You could expand it, make more hotels. It seems like
it was a lot. Yeah, it was the largest gay lesbian resort in the world.
Right.
120 overnight guest rooms, acres of stuff to do, a beach, a volleyball court, 5 bars and a restaurant and a theater, a legitimate theater.
Yeah, it was a great theater.
Yeah, but a couple of things. The tangle of mess of various people who had liens on it and whatnot was troublesome to navigate, and if I understand correctly, it ended up being taken over by one of those lenders who specializes in commercial developments, and they immediately tore it down to make it clear that they weren't going to maintain it as what it was. So I think if the timing were different, if it weren't happening in the middle of the pandemic, I think what you suggested, Tom, would have happened.
Yeah.
But given the nature of the beast, timing wise, nobody was anxious to do that.
It just probably, I thought about that too, because I remember it happening during the pandemic. I was like, man, it's just like the perfect storm of bad luck, and like you said, it seems like the owners are awesome people and did so much for the community. And a lot of times when you see that, and you see people that are super charitable and care more about people than they do about money, sometimes the business side things fall apart or fall to the wayside, and it's just a shame that happened, because man, I wish someone
you can feel the
would have just come in and bought it and kept it, because I just when they tore it down, I really did feel like a piece of our community, like a heritage
history of our
city was like
you can
tarnished.
Feel it. You can feel that it's not here, and the
as a matter of fact, the Orange County Orlando History Museum came and very carefully dismantled the sign, and they have it, and it will be part of their permanent collection, because they consider the sign to be a historical landmark. So that little piece has been saved.
Wanzie, what I'm hearing though, hold on.
It was never the area, though. It was all the people there, and you can feel that it's not operating. You can feel it in the air that it's not operating.
I just got it. Tom and Dan's Big Gay Resort. We started here, and we started a new one. We get Wanzie to run the entertainment.
Are you crazy? I would do it right
now.
now.
Hold on, I know millionaire friends. I got a call the other day.
I'm still
I can get some investors.
My mom's dead, and I could use her money to buy a gay resort. This is awesome.
Our branding is already somehow gay. Like we've already determined
people already think we're gay, and then so we're like, fine, we're gay. We're opening the biggest gay resort. We're bringing it back, baby.
We have Wanzie.
Well, there is one upside to it, is that suddenly every other gay bar in town is completely full every night.
There you go. Yeah.
But I mean, Wanzie, there is a market for a big gay resort, right? I mean, like,
absolutely.
Do they have? Is there anything like that?
The reason I know that is because when we had a big gay resort, I would go there. And I'm straight. So there's a market for it. Because it was all about, to me, it was all about it was like having a tiny Fringe festival open at all times, because you got
Yeah.
you got that cool, uncensored entertainment that's live on the stage. You got that stuff that pushed the envelope a little bit, and you don't really get that at a no offense to any other theater. They're great theaters, but I always liked that you were going out for like an adult evening.
And my wife did a bachelorette party, and I know that was popular.
So
like
fun.
she did at
I just like
Parliament
going
House.
to get a drink there. And Tom and I, we go to when we were working for Orlando City, we used to like to go to Stonewall. And because you walk over right across the street and try to see the merman in the tank.
Yeah.
And then we drink. We would get drunk before we did our announcements.
I just feel like having like something like the Parliament House.
That's the business side of you.
Well,
Wanzie, they're not going to try and bring anything back. That ship has sailed. It's
No, actually, they are. They're out shopping around. I mean, it won't have accommodations attached to it, but they've looked at a couple of places on Church Street. I know that just the other day they were seen with a realtor walking into the M Lounge in Ivanhoe Village. I think they're eyeing that.
Okay.
They own the name. They retain the rights to the name, and I think that they're of the mindset that they're going to open another bar, but it will be a bar and perhaps a showroom. They won't.
Gotcha.
You won't get to play balcony bingo is the issue.
Yeah.
You know what that is, Tom?
No, I do not.
Well, balcony bingo is, the hotel part of it was motel style, where your door opens up to the outside.
Yeah.
And there were long, narrow buildings, 2 stories. And it's kind of a little bit like Pac-Man, where the things run around all the little corridors, and every now and then someone comes out and eats you. People in the early days it got started that people would rent a room, and then if you were of the mindset that you wanted company, you left your curtain opened a little bit so people could look in and see the goods, and you tapped on the door and the person would look out, and if they liked you they'd open it up and let you in and close the curtain, and you get some business done, or leave the curtain open so others could enjoy the show. But that was called balcony bingo.
Wow, that was like a reality grinder. They look at your window, you're like, I'm swiping. You give a hand signal. You're like, keep on moving, or you're like, come in.
Nah, I think
I wish I was gay, because all this sounds way more fun than my life right now. I balcony bingo. I literally balcony bingo every weekend.
Yeah, every weekend, a cold beer and a little balcony bingo.
Yeah.
Back when I first came here in the 70s, it was people still lost their jobs for being gay. People were thrown out of apartments for being gay. People were harassed by the police for being gay. So people were obviously not always open in their place of employment of being gay. I worked at Disney, and at Disney, you might be gay, but people didn't let their management know, and because it's still a very conservative company back then. So in the employee cafeteria, if you wanted to ask your gay friend if they were going to the Parliament House tonight, you would ask them if they were going to Pizza Hut. And Pizza Hut was code for Parliament House, so that anyone else hearing the conversation would know you were talking about going to the Parliament House. And then the Sunday tea dance, which was a staple of the Parliament House, afternoon, basically like an evening's and a worth of entertainment on a Sunday afternoon. It was called tea dance. And if you wanted to know if someone was going to go to tea dance, you asked them, were they going to church on Sunday? And if you were gay and you were asking someone if they were going to church on Sunday, it was known that you were asking them where they're going to tea dance at the Parliament House.
That's
wow.
Yeah.
Wanzie, it's crazy that
and sad that you guys had to have code words. I just want to hang with my buddies. Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
That was back in the days when people would drive through the parking lot with guns and shoot, which happened on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
It's insane. And I know, Wanzie, I know we've talked about that
We've
before.
come a long way.
When you talk to younger gay people about, and then they have no idea of
it's not their reality.
Of how hard you had it in the 70s, like how different. I mean, I remember the 90s was bad. And how different it is. And it is. I do appreciate how where we are now, but we need to go further.
Of course,
Wanzie, real quick before we leave, how much did you laugh when Little Nas X did that music video because it blew some cowboy hats off, and I laughed and laughed because everybody was so mad about it.
I loved it.
And it was
he's giving a lap dance to Jesus.
yeah, and
had some people stirred up.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. And I
mean,
laughed that it still bothered people that much because I was like, it's 2020, but I forget. I just don't run in the circles of,
I will say what made
the
me
ultra conservative cowboys.
We're not those guys.
Whenever you drag Jesus into it,
But
a little bit more tough than just gay alone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey, I want to mention before I forget
please.
Something brand new for 2021 at the Fringe Festival is party pods. The city of Orlando, because of COVID, is limiting the number of vendor tents, the number of food trucks and whatnot they can have on the lawn. And so one of the things they're doing this year is they are setting up 10 by 10 canopies spread out all over the lawn. And you can go on and reserve your party pod, and you can look at the map and decide, do I want my pod to be closest to the stage where the outdoor entertainment is? Or do I want it to be closest to the beer tent? Or do I want it to be closest to this theater? So you can actually reserve a specific pod. And it's $149 to rent it for the day during the week, $249 during the weekend. But you have it for all the hours the Fringe is open that day. And so you have a shade and you have 2 Adirondack chairs to lounge in, 2 upright chairs, a table, a bucket of ice. You get your first 4 beers free. But the best thing about it is there's a dedicated cocktail runner. And so you can just lay back in your Adirondack chair in the shade and not have to get up and go to the bar. You can get bar service.
Well, for $150, I can buy the day. That's pretty awesome.
Our guys know about this, Wanzie, because we just at Dr. Phillips did the Front Yard Fest. We did our Land Cruise event, and it's kind of like a pod scenario. Yeah.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
That is the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's so fun, and the cocktail runners are so great. It makes everything so much smoother. You can order online most of the time. It's pretty awesome.
I hope they never take that Front Yard Festival thing down. I love going there and watching the show and being in your own private thing and having the food come to you and the beer.
It's great.
Yeah, it really is.
So it's basically gonna be the same thing, but in a more casual setting at Fringe. And for those of you who haven't been, you can, even if you don't go to a show, you can come to the grounds and you can go around to the food trucks and you can get the beer and you can get the wine, and everybody tees up and you talk to other people and you find a like-minded person who's seen 10 shows and say, well, this is what I like. What do you recommend? People make decisions on the fly. And if you don't realize it, it's basically 5, 6, 7, I think 10, 11 different venues that are all operating simultaneously. And 6 or 7 of them, or 8 of them, are right there in Lock Haven Park. And this year there's 2 downtown. One is House on Blue Street, Blue Star's new establishment.
Nice.
And the other one is the Abbey. So there's like 10, 12 theaters that during the week are all doing shows simultaneously from 5 in the evening until midnight. And on the weekend, from like 11 in the morning until 1 in the morning. And people just run from show to show to show to show to show. They're all about 45 minutes to an hour in length. A couple are 90 minutes, mine is 75. But it's just great. And because it's uncensored, you go to one show and it might be a heaping pile of doo-doo as far as you're concerned. And then you go to the next one and it's like, Jesus Christ, this could have been on Broadway and I got it for $12,
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
It really is. You see some super unique and amazing performers. Michael, please don't be a stranger just because of the what if's going on here. Hit up us and Sam and let us know when you can pop in, zoom in. I can't wait to get you back in here in person so we can give you a hug.
I agree.
Good luck with everything, man. And 21st, 9:45, Gold Venue.
It all started at the Radisson Inn as my show.
There you go.
And you get all the shows at orlandofringe.org. And that's also where you go to reserve your party pod.
Awesome.
Michael, it was great talking to you, man.
Good talking to you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, anytime, man. Love you. Be
Love
good.
you.
That is Michael Wanzie.
It's good seeing him, man. I'm glad he's doing all right and getting back into
that
the
Parliament
show.
House thing. I didn't know fully. Like I didn't know that it was a done deal, and that bums me out.
Yeah.
I thought it was just in. They
The
were just trying
details
to
are real sketch.
Yeah, it
I
sounds
posted
real
some of it in
sketch.
the
But
Twitch chat.
sucks. Maybe we.
You know,
can,
it got bought for only $300,000.
Yeah,
That's
because
absurd.
because the lien.
Yeah.
So what happened is I'm sure
They were delinquent
they,
and
and they knew
late fees. It was like millions of dollars.
whatever
4 point something.
Yeah.
Right?
whatever lender, bank, or got involved knew that their only opportunity to tear this place down fast, and then for pure business reasons was to do it now and during the pandemic before, because without, I think people, if it wasn't the pandemic, it sucks so bad because people would have tried to save it, and they would have raised money and probably bought it.
I can't think of anything easier in Orlando to save. But it didn't happen. You see what I'm saying?
Because it happened during the pandemic. Dude,
exactly.
they saved Wally. Like, I saw it happen with Wally's. Now, I don't know if that was the same scenario, but it seemed like...
Wally's is fine, but I never liked Wally's as much as I like Parliament House. You know what I mean? Like, Wally's is fine. It is what it is, but it's not... Parliament House is like a creative center. It actually
but
had
it's also
culture.
It was bigger than the actual... Like, it was pop culture. It was history. It was, like...
It's a destination.
It made Orlando cooler. I feel like... It's
100%.
And
Jim Phillips and all that. I mean, that's how I found out
start,
about it.
yeah.
From listening to the Jim Phillips show, and then Jim would be like headdress ball and all that. He knew Wanzie and Doug. That's how, when I came in working for Ed Tail, that was who, Miss B, all of those people were the people that introduced me to it. Then it just kind of became a part of like another venue in the town.
If you had a guy with some capital and like just a venture capital company or whatever, they had X amount of millions, they could have expanded that place, renovated it, and kept it alive, and used the push to save it to make it a new thing.
Who's
right?
like the most important, richest, non-problematic gay person?
Because
in Orlando,
it doesn't even have to be a gay person.
No, but I'm just saying it would have been cool. Like I'm writing.
Dude, there's people in Orlando.
I know, but I'm just like I'm writing like
RuPaul.
Well, I think there might be some problematic things there. I mean,
honestly,
you get famous enough. There's problematic things.
Dude, there's some rich dudes in town that could write a $2 million check.
I mean, just business-wise, it would have been smart for everybody. Yeah.
Well, if we'd had the money, we'd have bought the land. I would have. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to invest in that? Tom's right. It's a home run.
Yeah, and it seems like, and it sucks because and this happens a lot to a lot of businesses where if you have an owner that doesn't necessarily is not a shrewd business person, or maybe doesn't care about the money per se and more about
my favorite bar closed because of that, giving out too many free beers and being just too generous and letting people get away with not paying their bills.
We know somebody we worry about quite frequently who does that all the time.
And so they're great people and their intentions are great. It's the problem is the business starts slipping, and then you make some bad
I can invest. I can never run it. I'm not a good business person.
And then,
you know that.
And then all it takes is one lender to take control. It's like, and then it's done. And it's a shame. It sucks that happened, but at least it saved the sign and some piece of history. And hopefully, someone else comes and makes a new Parliament House, because the attached hotel is awesome. Like,
well,
I mean,
it made it
even beyond the bingo balcony bingo. But
it became a party destination. Kind of. And I'd heard that before. It's funny because I knew exactly what balcony bingo was. Wanzie may have told me that before.
I
always wondered if I saw if they still did that. And they're like, no, are you crazy? You don't do that.
But
we should do that on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
If we get back to cruising, balcony bingo. But we climb the balconies, outside balconies of the ship.
If it's not a bunch of gay dudes, it becomes real sketchy because then you got women and men, and then there's I don't want any part of I don't want any part of someone like, I think they're gonna let me come and kick the door down. Like someone's in there.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to hear, where do we hide the bloodstained sheet? We killed someone. For a while I was afraid of bachelor parties because I'd seen too many movies where they hired the stripper or hooker, and then things got out of control, and then they ended up killing her and had to bury the body.
Oh, my God.
And I think there's only been like 2 or 3 movies that have ever had that premise, and I think I watched all of them.
That's why there's usually a giant dude either waiting in his car or waiting outside the door.
That's also for protection.
It's also a boner killer, Sam.
Well, it's protection of the girl.
Right.
And he will come in and kill you.
Naked. While you're naked.
Yeah, or beat you.
With an asp.
Oh, yeah.
You're naked and you're laying. You know what sucks?
They don't care about the law.
You know what sucks is you have in a plug. You've got a tail. This guy's beating you with an asp. You're going to be dead. And your wife is going to have to go to the morgue and identify your body. And you have a tail.
I'm not joking. A friend of mine in high school, I'm not going to say who it is. But,
I know
Pudge.
I know the story.
It's
national. By the way, it's National Fudgy Pudgy Day.
He hired an escort in high school, and she showed up.
Wasn't it someone you went to school with?
Was this man Tom
Yes.
Cruise? That was the premise of Risky Business, wasn't it?
But it was at his parents'
Rebecca Demornay, or what's her name? Rebecca?
His mom and dad,
her name.
he lived in like a small 50s flat roof Florida house.
Oh, I love that with the stones on the top.
Yeah, oh yeah, rocks.
Yeah, rock tops.
Rock top.
I
lived
love
in that.
those.
Yeah.
I didn't know you lived in one of those, dude. That was my first house.
Yeah.
Old Florida rock top house.
And so his parents were in the next room. Like he was 17 years old, baby. Like,
he didn't even wait for them to go out of town?
Dude, this guy's straight cool. This guy's really cool. Can we talk to this person with a voice changer?
I think it was a school night because the next
like
day,
a Tuesday night?
And he just did it because he's crazy. He used to do crazy things like this. But he told me, he's like, there was a dude waiting in my in the car.
Yeah.
Like he had
in
the
old carport.
In the carport.
Dude, we had a carport too. I bet our house looked exactly the same. What side was your carport on? Left?
Well, this was his house, and his house had like a carport right in front of the front door to the right.
Yep, that's exactly.
But anyway, he's like, there's a giant black dude hanging out in the carport. I think he's the security.
Yeah, they're smoking cigarettes, waiting for you to get done.
And then I'm like, why you were the escort last time?
So what did he?
He banged the escort. In his bedroom.
I'm guessing she didn't check for ID to see that if he was legal or not.
No, it was a crack type scenario.
Crack type scenario.
I don't know.
Find
so how old was he?
17? It was a newspaper or something like the back. It was like the back of the penny,
back pages?
Like the back
Gotcha.
pages.
Yeah.
This was in '98.
Yeah, I still support that. You should be able to write back page.
Legalized sex work.
No, that can be illegal, but you should be allowed to write it in the paper. Because nobody reads the paper.
Yeah, there's another Craigslist scenario down the line. Bye-bye.
Balcony bingo. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I am Daniel.
I'm Tom.
You're Thomas today. And that is Samantha Ann. In the other room is Travasito Bonicio. Del Butlerosio. That's his real
Del
name.
Butlerosio.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know he's Italian.
T to the B's.
T to the B's. Let's get to something. It's Hot Take. What are we doing this for? This Hot Take Monday. And I'm going to say something because I'm not afraid to say it. And I'm a loose cannon Gen Xer. I shoot from the hip. A lot of people like my style. I could kill somebody in the street out here and people still vote for me. Stand by. Stand ready. Whatever. Stand down. All of it. I'm just going to say something. I'm ready to say it. Crystal Burgers and White Castle Burgers are exactly the same. Crystal Burgers taste exactly like White Castles. White Castles taste exactly like Crystals. There's zero difference. And I like Crystal better because I'm Team Florida.
All right.
There you go. Not afraid to say that.
I agree with you. It's the same garbage.
Does White Castle have other items other than the mini burgers like Crystals does? Because Crystals has like corn pups.
Yeah, love me a corn pup.
You know what I mean?
You got corn pups?
I've never been to White Castle.
Look up Crystals. Okay, we're going to do a comparison right here.
I think they have the same stuff.
I don't think they have any corn pups. I don't think they have chili cheese pups.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think they got any pups.
I
think the pup is a Crystal only thing.
I think so.
I feel like they've all just borrow off of each other.
A&W root beer has corn pups. I know that for a fact.
Do they have tots? Does White Castle have tots? Because Crystals has tots.
I don't think White Castle has tots. I think White Castle has fries.
I have a hot take.
Okay. I like hot take Mondays.
Oh, do I need to write this down for the best of awards at the end of the year? Because we do have a hot take.
Yeah. So wait, you can put my crystal one on there.
Your last one was the PTSD spectrum, so let's see where this goes.
I came in light with the White Castle controversy. This guy's talking about real things that make people mad.
Because I don't know, where was that White Castle that they opened?
It's like iDrive, right?
It's an iDrive, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 2 hours for like.
Well, this is my hot take. Okay. I saw on social media a bunch of people posting the car line that was waiting for the grand opening, and they're like, "Look how long this!" And they were driving like seemingly a never-ending.
Yeah, and you could only get like you could only get like 50 burgers.
At a time, that's a lot.
Only a
minimum order.
Yeah, it was like two. Like there were the side I saw because Scart from the Supervillains went out there with his wife, and I liked his coverage better than anybody's because he had a picture of him, then he had a picture of his wife doing a handstand in a split. Like it was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, that's how you advertise. This guy's got the goods. So shout out to Scart.
Well, now that I know I'm going to back it off a little bit.
No, it's fine.
I'm about to go. He'll never listen.
He just likes I think he likes the nostalgia. I think he's a White Castle guy, and I don't fully understand it. I don't get it. I don't see how different it could be from a Crystal Burger. I don't get any of it.
I understand the nostalgia, but my hot take is this. All those people in the line, right?
You can only get 50 burgers.
And the line was out, like you said, 2 hour line. If you waited for 2 hours.
It's longer than 2 hours. The sign that I saw was 2 hours from this point.
Right.
50 burgers per person is all you can get. Only 50 F you.
But also, who is waiting 2 hours to get White Castle?
Fast food, yeah.
Like fast food.
People that love the nostalgia of White Castle. They ate it with their dad. Their dad's dead. They're like, I remember my dad.
Just like you said, the Crystal Burger's the same.
It's the same.
I can understand.
There's no difference. I don't know. Somebody tell me the difference. I think Juan called in one time.
Yeah.
Grady Season said that Juan called in one time and tried to argue this. But I have learned the more I talk to Juan, and there's another hot take. The more I talk to Juan, the more I think Juan and I are a little closer in intelligence. I used to think he was like this super smart, like super mega genius. I talked to Juan a lot this weekend.
The balloon and now this.
Yeah, I was at a birthday party with Juan and talking to him for his son celebrated a birthday. Happy birthday, Teddy. And the more I talk to him, I'm like, wait a minute. We're more alike than we are different. We're all in this together.
So, but I could understand if White Castle came to town and there was no other version of the tiny burger with the steamed bun available anywhere, and you wanted to wait for 2 hours because you're like, I haven't had the tiny burger steamed bun for years, and I'm going to wait 2 hours. But when there's a Crystal down the street that does literally, like Daniel said, the exact same thing.
Fast.
Then there's no excuse to wait for 2 hours.
No.
And nostalgia isn't an excuse either because the same GD thing is a Crystal.
Is there any food that you would wait 2 hours for?
Pussy. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just... There it is. I got a tiny butler left. Tiny little butler left. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm trying to... Okay. This is a scenario. I wait for 2 hours.
He's hungry.
This is a hot take Monday.
So if I moved to, let's say, North Dakota, right?
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lived there for years, right? I'm a roughneck. I work on the pipeline, right?
I have a high school friend that actually did that.
I know someone else.
I'm starved and I need the only food that can give me diarrhea quick.
And so
where's a White Castle?
I'm on the pipeline. I'm working there. It's North Dakota. I'm eating whatever the hell they have up there. And then all of a sudden they open a Publix. And I feel like to get a Publix sub, because I know I imagine there's other sub shops that are in North Dakota that are
all you have to do is tell them
Subway.
All you have to do is tell them put the toppings on like a D head because that's
Subway,
what Publix does,
stinky
right?
Subway, but
you go, hey, when you put the pickles on. Publix back home, they like to put so many pickles on it that I'm just eating a vinegar bread sandwich. Can you give me that, please?
I just feel like that the nostalgia of that mixed with how, I mean, pub subs are pretty unique.
They are.
There's not really like, I wouldn't.
They are. The stale bread.
Wow, like even mom and pop sub shops are not like public. Yeah, they're unique. Whatever it is, it doesn't mean better or worse.
No,
I'm saying unique.
It has a, like, I can spot
Maybe
one.
I would do that.
You could wrap a public sub in any other. You could wrap a public sub in Firehouse wax paper, and I'll know it's a public sub. But Crystal Burger, I could take a Crystal Burger out of the little cardboard and put it in the White Castle cardboard, and no one would know the difference. That's the difference.
Maybe
that there is no difference.
Even if you had some White Castle purists.
Oh man, got it on the mind. Yeah,
that could argue the minute differences between a White Castle and a Crystal Burger. They're still so similar that they're 95% the same, and therefore you cannot wait for 2 hours because of nostalgia.
Right.
If the same GD burger,
we're doing the comparison
exists.
thing again, and he's right.
Yeah.
Crystal to White Castle is so similar that there is no reason to wait. But Pizza Bruno to Papa John's is so completely different that you have to go with one or the other, whatever your palate or monetarily what you Is that a better example?
I would argue that like there's not really another pizza place like even a Papa John's that I could, because it has some of their like a signature style to it.
Papa John's, like, I can look at it and I can say that cheese looks plastic. That like
they got that dry dough.
That dry ass dough. Yes,
so
you wash your car with that.
So
thing.
Even that,
I'll eat it, but
I'll
soak it in garlic sauce.
I'll take you waiting in line in your whatever place you live in that like a local Papa John's open and you haven't had that in years. Like that, that I'll take because it's like, well, there's not really any fast food pizza.
DeLand, the pizza place, Tom's.
Yeah. There's
the little mom and pop. It's not the best pizza in the world. I think they'd even tell you that, but there is nostalgia flavor in it that when I eat it, it lights me up, man. It gives me chemicals in my brain that make me happy.
Yeah.
And
it is.
And I wouldn't wait 2 hours for it, but I would drive 45 minutes. I'd drive to DeLand for it for sure.
But there's not a pizza that's like
not even close.
Dan's that's right across the street.
I wish. I'd eat there all the time.
That is exact same ingredients, the same style. Because then that's what we're telling you. The Crystal is the same damn thing.
Well, I think we did a nice job on this today. I'm actually proud of your explanation.
There's nobody can argue against this, I think. I mean,
well, they're going to want to, but they'll never be able to get like enough
What's
ammo.
the argument? Okay, Samantha, look up the argument because I'm sure there's people that have debated this, and there's something like, what's the difference between White Castle and Crystal Burger?
Remember, it had something to do with the onions.
And by the way, me and Daniel have had both. We've had White Castle, and that trip we took in the tiny
Mini Cooper.
Mini Cooper up to Chicago.
No, it was a Fiat. We had a Fiat.
Oh yeah,
we're in a tiny little Fiat. We're dressed in all purple. Look like two rodeo clowns.
It appears the biggest difference is that White Castle, their burgers are steamed and have a uniquely soggy texture, while Crystal is a miniature version of a traditional burger. Like a
soggy burger? Sign me up.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I remember we were talking about it, and we were like,
it's meat, onions, and cheese with a little squirt of mustard and a pickle on it. It's the same garbage.
Maybe the tiny meat square is a little softer because it's not grilled or steamed, but it's like...
Are you checking the texture of your meat square with your tongue while you're eating it?
Nobody
is. Even people that love White Castle are not biting into it and going, oh, that's that good soft meat square I love. You're a liar if you say that.
Yeah. It's so similar that it can't be a huge deal that they're now in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
It is though.
Wawa.
It is a huge deal.
I give it to Wawa because I kind of screamed the same thing. Remember when Wawa first opened their first gas station and everybody from up north?
Now it's the Buc-ee's.
Oh,
in Daytona, everybody's freaking out about.
You know, you can buy a pajama suit that looks like
everything.
Well, they have a Buc-ee's pajama suit that looks like the beaver that you can buy and wear.
We need to talk to Cadillac Pat because he was at Buc-ee's. He was freaking out. I'm telling you, and he sent me. He's like, "Have you heard about Buc-ee's? I'm here." And it's like, it's a phenomenon. And I'm like, "What are you talking?"
Phenomenon.
Like, I'm like, "What are you talking?"
We're talking to him soon.
Yeah. We'll have to talk to him about Buc-ee's because he sent me a picture of it.
We should send him out to White Castle because he will stand in line because he's that crazy.
And he'll get attention.
Is there still lines?
We should send. Oh my God.
Yesterday there were still lines.
Scart was in the line, I think, for 2 hours with his wife. I never found out if he got his hamburgers. I hope he did. I hope he didn't get up there and they're like, no burgers, buddy.
I give a pass to Scart because he's high and he's got nothing else to do. So I give a. But other people,
he's a pot-smoking reggae musician. He needs White Castle. Are you crazy?
Yeah. I give only Scart. I give a pass to. Everybody else, shame on you.
Scart approved.
Yeah, you are shame. You should feel shame. Scart's fine. It fits his brand.
And I think the only way he got his wife to go, didn't he say the only reason he got her to go is because they had vegan options?
That's possible.
I think that was his post.
Yeah, it's
he's a funny cat.
So it makes sense they put it over an iDrive, although it is weird because it's for tourists. I guess the tourists are used to White Castle, so they're like, oh, let's go to White Castle. But
seems like I would be different if I came here and it had White Castle. I'd be wanting to try Crystal.
Right.
Yeah.
And we closed a lot of our Crystal burgers down. You know, we've closed some of those because COVID got them bad. You know, like who knew that it would hit them so hard? And then we're getting Bojangles back. 6 years ago, we lost all our Bojangles.
So odd.
Yeah, we lost them all. And I love Bojangles. I used to like their.
Yeah, I snagged some when we went up to Asheville a couple of years ago because I was like, I haven't had Bojangles in years.
It's solid. I like it. It's very similar to like a Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, and now we're getting them back.
Every once in a while, and I don't do it too much because I'm trying.
You're a lot healthier now. Yeah, we don't. Did you see this picture Tracy sent of me? Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I have to put this up for the listeners on Twitch.
There was a time we got big fat.
No, you guys. I'm mad at you guys.
You've been making jokes lately, Dan, about calling yourself a potato, but you actually do kind of look like a potato in this photo.
Oh, I know, 100%, 100%. I deserve every
potato with a button up.
I just deserve every minute. Oh, hold on, I'm going to the wrong button here.
By the way, I laugh at all the Butler photoshops.
They're great. TD Travis.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
What year is that?
Hold on,
you also look hammered.
well, there was a rough.
We were eating, drinking.
Look at that.
Woo!
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, have mercy! Look at that chubster. My God, how fat I was! My God, that's terrible.
Yeah. What was that?
That was only 4 years ago, dude. 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years is a long time. That's how long it takes to get a degree.
I was 40 pounds heavier there.
40 pounds?
40 pounds. I've officially lost 40 pounds.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think I must have been around 220 at that.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah. It sneaks up on you.
Oh man, it'll get you bad. It's coming to get you.
You know what's weird? I was thinking about today, and a lot of people have been posting about this, but I haven't had a cold in a year. Like nothing.
I wonder why.
Cold?
I know. Nothing. Like not any sickness.
I kept getting COVID though. Over a mini COVID. I called them COVID juniors.
But you start thinking, you're like, wow, that's odd, and I don't know if that's. I feel like a lot of people had that same experience where like they haven't had any, haven't got sick in a year because of all, everything.
But
wearing a mask,
because
or just being cognizant of like, oh.
But I wonder if because we've isolated ourselves and we've washed and we've like almost like hygiened ourselves, if we will pay a price like once we're a little more open because our immune system from being shielded dipped.
I don't know.
Is that even a thing?
I don't know. I think it may take longer than just a year. Like the human body works pretty slow, so it takes a long time to build up immunities. I don't think you'll lose them just in a year. But yes, I do. Like obviously, you need to be exposed to stuff to be able to build your immune system, and it may have an effect. But I don't know if it's going to be like a dramatic deal where all of a sudden our immune system is like somehow really weak just because we haven't been exposed to germs in a year. Although like it's not like I've been hiding in my house. I went to Colorado twice. We've been to work every single day. Like we go.
I go to Publix every day.
Yeah. I never stopped going to grocery stores.
If I wanted to get it, you would have imagined I would have gotten it.
Yeah, but it's just like you go through you're just more cognizant of like, hand sanitizer stuff. Like that stuff works.
Yeah.
Who
knew? You know what I don't like about it?
It is
science.
I wish it cleaned my hands though. You ever use hand sanitizer when you have dirty hands and then you just have dirty hands that are like
sanitized?
I don't like that.
Okay, yeah.
It's not. It doesn't sit right in my brain. Like that doesn't make any sense. Oh, I meant to tell you this too. Talked to my wife last night. You had asked me what my end game was going to be for growing my hair longer.
Yeah.
And I figured it out, and it's a joke. I'm doing a joke gimmick. I want to see if I can go shave sides ponytail. In game. Joke hair. 2021. Daniel.
I'm for it, but I don't
shave
think...
sides like I work at a wing house. And I'm back there with the big metal bowl, and I'm tossing the wings.
I'm into it. I think you should do it.
Sam said I should do it. My wife even agreed I should do it. The
Little.
only two people who are trying to talk me out of this are Tom and my daughter, Maisie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you're doing it. Just make yourself look like a fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's for comedy reasons,
Yeah, it's for comedy reasons.
Then I'm all for it. Although, I feel like once you go to John
I don't
the
think I
Barber
can do
and
it.
tell him, I
already told him.
Did he refuse to do it?
No, he clowned on me.
Okay, but he said he'll do it, right?
Well, I mean, it's my hair.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
It grows back. It's fine.
But I told him that I want to I just want to stop. I just don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, listen.
I'm just over it, man. Maybe I'll go stooge first for a little while. What if I did what Dan Cummins' son did and get a bowl cut for a little while and just rock all comedy haircuts?
You got the perfect
butt cut
job and position because
No, we're on the camera every single day.
Yeah, but it's for entertainment. Who cares?
That's right.
I hesitate.
Ooh, you should do inverted mohawk like the guy from Alien Ant Farm.
Oh, the hawk and animal? So I buzz down the center and just leave the sides? Okay.
Do it.
That's called the Kevin from The Office.
Because you don't have to meet with any clients or make them have any sort of trust in you. You know what I'm saying? Like you just
You're
be
right.
pure.
That's not really what I do.
So you could do whatever you want and no one would care because everybody would just laugh at it or whatever. Like who cares?
But if the clients do say something, do you already prepare a statement? Do you say things like, "Oh, he's crazy"? Does it come up?
They know. They're like, oh yeah, that's for the entertainment. I'm like,
they know.
That's for the thing. They don't like it as long as it works, But if I did it,
sometimes I
they
pop
would
in
be
like
I'm not giving you a check because you're gonna Oxygun or whatever. I have to be a polo and have my pompadour.
Yeah, also Oxycontin.
It's all for facade.
It's on the spectrum. It's on the Oxycontin spectrum.
People want you to bring back the rat tail challenge.
Yeah, I kind of
No, I'm not doing it.
No. Oh.
I want to
put his foot down.
Look,
rat
I'm
tail.
getting. Look, I'm getting.
Stole $1,000.
You are kind of getting rat taily back there.
Look at that.
You got a bushel.
I got a little thing going here, man, and I think my wife's a little into it because she started fluffing it at the DMV today.
Just let it go.
I have to take her to the bathroom at the DMV.
God.
Balcony bingo at the DMV. Oh, everybody at the DMV today was stupid. By the way, if you saw me and you listened to the show, you're dumb. Everybody in there was dumb.
The people, the
customers?
The
people working there are great. I go
down.
downtown. They run a very tight ship. They text you if you don't return in 2 minutes. They say you missed it. You're out. It's very, very tight. It's
usually, if you're at the DMV, it's kind of like it vets the dodos for you. I end up there a lot. I'm one of them. Is because you're bad at life and you missed something you didn't do. You didn't do it online or over the mail or you didn't do anything responsible. So you're like getting something reinstated. Buying a jet ski tag, like all these, like your license got suspended, you forgot to renew, like all
you
these things.
You want to hear one?
And that's the reason you're there. So you look around, you're like, I'm with my people.
You want to hear
one?
I heard multiple, but I saved two. One I'll say on Friday for the Freddie Free Show. You can listen to that on Friday. It's completely
surprised
uncensored.
You guys were there. Like, what happened?
My mom's park model, because it's a single wide, you have to get a tag on it. You have to get a registration.
Okay, the trailer. Every once in a while, the dentists have to get a trailer tag.
Every once in a while, we have to venture out into creature land.
But it was for a vacation home, but it's still a trailer. So
it's
it's
not classy, not that classy. But this guy said, my motorcycle, I need to get my motorcycle registration renewed. I know that it's lapsed and I'm on it today, but I have my registration. It's in storage. I lost it. It's in the storage unit. He just can't find it.
Oh, yeah. Lots of that.
Lots of that.
Lots of I can't find it.
Lots of I lost this, reinstate this, I'm getting this, trailer tag, boat tag, this thing, I was suspended. That's all. Like, I'll give it to the employees that work there.
They were so calm. They're so calm.
I don't. There must be a high burnout period, like where
most of the ladies we talked to had been there for 15 years. Like there's no turnover
because nobody's got the right paperwork. Nobody's prepared. Like it's just they're dealing with a bunch of me saying I don't know where this is.
Yeah,
like,
but they just act like old grannies, and they're just like, well, I'm sorry if you can find it, you can just come right back. They're just nice.
Yeah, you have to have a certain demeanor.
You do. I couldn't work there. By the way, no men work there. You want to know why?
Oh,
just think
no
about
patience.
It. No, just exactly. Yes. Think about it.
Yeah,
they can't do it. No men work there. And Andrea said that. She goes, "You notice
fights at the DMV."
No, Andrea said
you'd be like, "You idiot! Why don't you have your stuff? You knew you were coming here."
Kill you.
Like I'm talking to myself, by the way. You're like, why did you come here with nothing? Like you didn't bring your.
It was funny though.
Registration. Everything's lost. How do you live?
She pointed it out. When you look around, it's like all of these ladies. They're all about the same age, and they're all hyper organized. And I'm like, "Yep, you have to be that lady to work here, and you'll work here until you die." A government job and you'll be there 20 years because you're good at it. You're built for it. We got to, yep.
You bought a 2017 Ford Escort for $1. It's impossible.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. The fish are here. If you look in the corner, you'll see that we have a very special guest on the line. It is Chef Pat from Hollabox Willow Tree Cafe in downtown historic Sanford. There, big mouthful.
How you doing, Chef Pat?
Fantastic.
So
glad to be on.
I want to start off with right now at Hollabox. You can get our brand new pin, which is my favorite, by the way.
It really
my wife loves
awesome.
It. It's the Tom and Dan white asparagus pin.
There we go.
Oh yeah, and Chef Pat has them. If you go by there, just ask for one.
Yep.
And it helps us. But by far my favorite pin
yet. It pops. Yeah, it looks the coolest for sure.
And also, is white asparagus season still happening? Is it done? I know it's a short time.
Yeah, white asparagus season until the end of June.
Okay.
Also, in very limited supplies, I have these magnets. If you guys can find me at the restaurant, it says Die Deutschen haben die dicksten Stiele. That means the Germans have the biggest shafts.
No, all right. I like that.
Yeah. Size matters, John Morgan. Yeah, I like it.
I'm not exactly sure if that's true. I feel like
I think Cameroon may have you beat.
yeah. There's a lot of countries south of Germany.
The color contrast makes it look bigger, though. So it's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh man.
So Chef Pat, what's going on at Hollabox right now?
So my favorite thing that we're doing right now is mystery meat bingo every Tuesday night. We do a 6 rounds of bingo for charity. We've done a few different ones. Hollabox Has Heart is our in-house charity. Last Tuesday, we are trying to raise some funds for a Sanford, U.S. hopeful bobsled Olympic athlete. We're trying to get him going with some stuff. But Tuesday nights, meat bingo upstairs in the beer garden.
We are interviewing that athlete that's trying out for the bobsled team, and we found out about it because I know you guys are supporting him, and
that's pretty damn cool.
We're gonna talk to him, and I know we'll ask him.
This reminds me of Cool Runnings with John Candy. Does anybody remember?
Floridian bobsled team.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Cool Runnings? Cool Runnings. Is that a problematic movie now?
No, I think it held up.
Did it hold
fine.
up?
Yeah.
Like if you revisit that, like John Candy's not saying things he shouldn't say.
No, I mean there's probably something.
There's something in there, right?
Something that would make your dad laugh.
John Candy.
Was it John Candy?
It's a different time.
Yeah, he's not problematic. He's Canadian.
No, but I'm just saying, just the jokes.
Yeah,
the jokes
I know.
probably
he didn't write all of them. You know?
Yeah, the movie. Yeah, whatever the writers of the movie probably threw in some things. But
I guess there was some racist tropes in the movie.
Yeah. Well, everything. Well, it's just
the
made
whole
in
idea
the 90s.
is that you got black guys on a bobsled, right? I mean, like
that's what
like that's just by design.
Like, what is this? We've never seen this.
Yeah, it's like.
But this we did hear about that Sanford athlete, and we're gonna talk to him soon. But so the mystery meat bingo, do you actually like get to come home with meat after you win?
Hell yes. We're not just teases around here. We'll send you home with some bratwurst, maybe some schnitzels. Sometimes we have salami chips at the market. could be like some Kassler smoked pork, some Leberkäse.
Are there any
You gotta
zoinks?
remember, we have the deli with all the meat that you could ever want.
I feel like you guys need some let's make a deal styled zoinks in there. So one person gets like, you know, like a igloo cooler full of like a with a dead duck in it.
You could get maybe a dead goose with the goose liver pate that we sometimes give away.
You know, like something bad, right? Like instead of, because like all of the meats that you guys have there, everything that you guys serve in house is amazing. I feel like that if there should be a zoink, like the old school game shows.
Chef Pat, I got a question for you. Like, what in traditional German cuisine, the grill and like sausage and the grill, like is the sausage? Like, how is the sausage cooked traditionally?
Oh, that's a good question.
So different kind of sausage get cooked in different ways. So in Bavaria, the Weisswurst, which is a veal sausage with parsley, it's very fine ground. They don't grill it. They steam it in water, and then they serve it in a Weisswursttopf, which is like a soup vessel that looks kind of like an urn with a little lid. But you put the white sausage, parsley, and hot water in it, and then you slit the skin and just slurp the middle out of the sausage. And then you have like your traditional roast bratwurst, which you cook on the open flame, and you get that nice char and the nice fat releases from them. And then a lot of places do like the flat top, like, you know, your Blackstones, you fill it up with some oil and get it nice and super crispy, and then put some like curry ketchup or something on it.
So it all depends on the type of sausage.
Sure.
Okay.
I've never heard of the German slurping sausage. I've never heard of the old.
Got Amy Caulfield to do it live on Fox 35 one morning. He got her to slurp the Weisswurst out of its casing for Oktoberfest one year.
We could probably get Sam to do that. Maybe we get Sam to do that while you're trying to race Big Tim on a bike.
Hold on. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Chef Pat, you told us something that I can't stop thinking about. You said
I can see it in your eyes.
You never learned how to ride a bike.
Why would you say that? You're supposed to ask him. It's like Hippocratic Oath, or like, you know, like you're not supposed to just start yelling people's business.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe you didn't want to broadcast that.
That's all good. Everybody that knows me knows that I can't ride a bike, and I've never ridden a bike. And I've accepted that fact because I got a fast car and I have a golf cart. So why do I need to ride a bike?
Now, you did mention before
you hurt his
the
feelings
show
a little bit, or he wouldn't be defending it. I can hear he's defending it a little bit. You hurt his feelings.
You said you understand the concept and you think you could actually get on and go, right?
But Tom also thought he could skip, and he cannot. So
right? Yeah.
Just be careful.
So, do you think you could like get on a traditional like beach cruiser and like go with very little,
like on a beach? Like if you were on a beach,
don't put him on a beach. That's too hard.
Well, no, the hard sand. I just don't want him to fall.
I would just never stop. I'd end up in like Massachusetts or something because I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, but I think he could
brakes.
go. I think he could go.
Okay,
can you skateboard, Pat?
I think I could do it. I can't skateboard. I can't skate. Like, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. Anything on like wheels.
He's not a balancing
man.
Yeah, he's a sausage man.
Pat,
he's not a wheel man.
Would you be?
Forget it, Dan.
Because I'm
a potato man. So
the 90s radio show host in me makes me like I just thought of something. We have a meeting coming up about Sofa and Suds, and we're talking about dates, and it's happening. We're
gonna do some.
We're fine tuning it.
First time German chef bike races.
Well, I'm thinking of like we have a course set up for the couch races. There are breaks.
Well, this is why I said beach instead of brick street.
Well, you know, because what went through my mind is like Chef Pat versus Big Tim bicycle race. Who would win? Because you got one person.
Chef Pat, Big Tim bicycle race. Who would win? You just
There
said
you
that,
go.
by the way.
Andre the Giant.
That's what he just said, by the way. I didn't write that. He wrote that.
Because Big Tim knows how to ride a bike. A bigger dude, more to pedal.
Do we know that?
We don't know if Big Tim knows how to ride a bike.
He's a Florida.
Everybody knows how to ride a bike.
Yeah, he's Florida white trash. He had to ride a bike for transportation at one time as a kid. You had
Seems
to.
like a walker to me.
Well, now, yeah, I'm sure he doesn't ride bikes that often now.
Like a bus man.
But he knows how to do it. Versus Chef Pat, who's you've never ridden a bike as an adult, right, Pat?
like in the church parking lot by my house from one end to the other. That's about as far as I've gone.
All right. So very like who would win? Like gigantic dude on a bike versus person who has no idea how to ride a bike, just like literally around the hay bales
Do we
and back.
know any people with one leg?
Oh yeah. No, with one of dude, you could. I mean,
that guy Tom boxed.
You could. There's
that
tons.
That guy might not be alive anymore.
There's people with one leg that can outrun me for sure easily. There's people with no legs that can outrun me with the blades.
Yeah.
No, with the blade, but that's not fair.
Or
I could
just-
outrun the person with no legs if you gave me blades.
Right.
I'm just saying I wonder if
Like no legs with blades versus me, he wins all day long. But give me the same blades in a couple weeks to practice my blading, and I beat him.
I don't know because
I've got feet, my feet on the blades. That's like double blades.
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
double blade scenario.
it's hard to balance. You need a lifetime of blades. Anyway, sorry, Chef Pat. We'll do something. If you're up for it, something at
A challenge.
Sofa and Suds bike ride.
Get at me.
challenge.
I'm down for it.
Yeah, we just can't we don't want to break his hand so he can't cook.
So summer is here, and we hot. My God, it's hot.
It's really hot.
Technically, it's not. It's still spring, but I feel you.
Yeah. I look at it like
It's summer.
It's summer.
When we hit May, I feel like we're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, like April, like end of
May
March.
and November.
Dude, I put all my shoes away.
Yeah.
I'm sandals only now. It's
Yeah.
too hot.
Once it starts getting into the mid 90s, I think the other day it was like 94. Like I'm just like it's here. It's hot as hell. Is there any like traditional summer German thing? Maybe some sort of dessert. German popsicle. Don't know if I'm like anything.
Whoa. I think do not Google the old German popsicle.
Is there any summer specific thing, Chef Pat, that German cuisine has that we may not know about?
So actually, one of my favorite things and desserts that we have at Magnolia Square Market is called spaghetti ice, or spaghetti ice cream, as we call it in American. But it's ice cream, vanilla ice cream. And we got this super rad machine. You put it in a cup, you slide it in almost like an espresso machine, but you put ice cream, and then it's got a linear actuator that presses it through the cup, and it comes out in like spaghetti noodles into a bowl, and then you put strawberry puree and shaved white chocolate and cake balls on top, and it looks like freaking spaghetti.
That
That sounds amazing.
It's like Play-Doh, right? Like
a fun factory.
Exactly. It's like a grown-up version of one of those Play-Doh extruders where it kind of just pushes it through to get French fries or spaghetti noodles.
Yeah.
I got to bring my boys for spaghetti ice cream.
Yeah,
They'll
let's
love
do
it. Hey, is it regular ice cream or is it some sort of like every once in a while you get something that looks like ice cream and you're eating it like what is it? They're like this is a fine sherbet or whatever.
He called it a sherbet.
He mixed sherbet and sorbet.
I know. Oh, excuse me.
I don't know your fancy.
Oh, excuse me,
ice cream.
chef out. The schnitzel is a little too spicy. Do you have any
White trash.
sherbet?
I don't know what it is. And then
I'm on
you're like,
my-
what happened to whole milk ice
I'm on
cream?
my way.
White.
I'm on my way to the Great Sanford bike races, and I stopped by for a sherbet, sir.
It's just vanilla ice cream.
All right.
And you can get the spaghetti ice, but then we also
He
have a few
literally
different
told you
toppings
what
that
the
you
ice
can
cream
get.
was before you asked about sherbet.
No,
by
but
the
I
way.
know what he means,
but
'cause
you
like,
say
you
it's not
gotta-
always ice cream. Sometimes it's
not.
something else.
Sometimes
I'm
it's
like,
like,
this isn't.
like mochi balls. Like my wife buys these things, and she's like, "Oh, it's ice cream." I bite into it. I'm like, "That is not ice cream." I'm like, what is this?
Mochi
She's like,
balls are not ice cream.
Yeah, it's just like- it's
not talking smack, but they're not ice cream.
"Yeah, it's just it's a ball of some sort of Japanese custard or something." And I'm like, "Well, this
Yes,
don't
yes.
tell me it's ice cream."
Yes.
Because my wife does this all the time. Like boba is not ice cream, mochi balls, whatever. They're not ice
Oh,
cream.
yeah, and Crystal bought like some sort of frozen yogurt.
Oh,
and
not
then
that
she's
Halo
like, this,
top.
Yeah, and then she's like,
You can
this-
eat the whole thing. It's 500 calories. Yeah, it tastes like garbage.
Yeah, but it's like water. It's watered down. Like it's so watery.
Yeah,
Anyway, I want full fat,
yeah.
white.
Is it full fat?
Oh, full fat.
Yeah, see, that's why it's gonna be
Have
good.
you guys had the ice cream with the booze in it that they sell by the freezer at the counter at the liquor store?
No.
Holy cow! Like I don't know, the liquor store by my house got a little elementary school milk freezer, and they have little pints of like pina colada with rum in it, and then they have like mint chocolate chip with like creme de menthe or something. But they're like, you eat one of these and you catch a buzz and about 1,000 calories worth of full fat ice cream.
All right.
Oh my God! Just what I need to ramp up for my bike race.
Yeah, like you can leave them separate. I'll just I'll drink the alcohol, eat the ice cream.
Normally, what I do is drink 12 White Claws and then wander to the freezer and eat whatever's in there. So.
Chef Pat, real quick, if I'm thinking about taking the boat out this weekend, and I want to pick up like a lunch at like basically just to take with me to have on the boat.
That's a good idea.
At the market, what would be your suggestion?
So you want some snacks, some meats and cheeses and stuff like that?
Yeah, I need something for my wife too, who's a vegetarian, so like breads and cheeses, and then I want some sausage for me, and then I'm gonna try to trick the boys into eating it. So what would you suggest, Pat?
So we have a full menu of sandwiches. You can get grilled cheeses for the boys if you want. We do hot ham sandwiches. You can get bratwurst grilled on a bun.
What?
Definitely get a pretzel with some of our famous Obatza cheese dip. And we have all sorts of like German, pickles and pickled vegetables and potato chips, and that are really good to go out on the boat. Some German sodas, the German Fanta, the Spezi, the Mezzo Mix, which are all different blends of orange soda and cola from Germany.
You have Mezzo Mix? That stuff's great.
We do have Mezzo Mix. If you take the vanilla ice cream and then put Mezzo Mix on it, it's like an orange float with a Coke float.
Yeah, have you ever had that particular soda? Yeah, you know what? I know your boys aren't big soda guys, and I'm definitely the trash dad by giving my daughter Diet Pepsi just to shut her up. But
Tommy got into Sprite. He's a
he's a Sprite man. All right, I'll tell Maisie because she's a Sprite gal as well. I'd let her have anything. I think she drinks Jolt now. I don't know. But yeah, they would like the Mezzo Mix. It's really good.
Awesome.
It's tasty.
Well, Chef Pat, it was great talking to you. Again, if anybody hearing this, go by Hollabox, pick up a white asparagus pen. It's my favorite design by far, and there's limited amounts. So we do a new one each time. And Pat, we'll end with this. What should be our next? Me and Daniel were thinking about like traditional German like beer steins that are holding two beers as well.
Yeah,
like
beerception.
The beer steins are the Tom and Dan beer steins are drinking beers.
A little cannibalistic.
I know, but I like that. Do you think
What if the beer steins are holding pretzels in their hands?
All right. Oh, yeah, I like
we
that.
We could run with pretzels or wieners.
We'll get Pabone because we did wiener, pretzel. We did
wiener and pretzel so far.
Yeah, but this could be a beer stein holding the pretzel. I think that may be our next one.
What about spaghetti ice cream?
Oh yeah, spaghetti. Hard. They're like, what is that?
That's spaghetti. It looks like spaghetti. No, it's spaghetti ice cream.
I'm spaghetti and Dan's the meatball on top.
Yeah, I can be the meatball.
I think we should like tacos. We run out of ideas. We're like, just make Tom and Dan tacos. We just sell tacos. They're like, that's fine. All right, Chef Pat, we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. It's always good.
See you, man. No love you. Be good. That is Chef Pat live from Hollabox.
Yeah, if you've never been to Hollabox, I saw some BDM's post. They're like, thanks for recommending Hollabox. I don't know how they never knew it was there.
I like that they thank us for something that Theo and his staff invented and made great.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I liked it. I like it that they thank it. They're like, hey, thanks for suggesting that. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty easy to, right? Historic restaurant, awesome.
It's famous nationwide. Yep. Like, people know about it everywhere, worldwide. But anyway, I love when people go there and discover it and like, wow, this is cool.
Well,
like, it's awesome.
It's authentic. You know, like you could taste it when you go there. Man, I'm a sucker for sausages and mustard, and I will just eat that until I make myself sick.
Yeah.
And I know you're a fan of sausages too. I don't know what it is about sausages, but all different flavors and dipping them in mustard, and I just love it.
But it's also, it offers the experience, which is hard to find. Like when you actually go there, it's like, oh, it's more than just how good the food is. It's like, oh, this is a thing. Especially if you go there,
the steins and the flags and the music and and like
when the band is playing. When
awesome. Are they going to attach a hotel to Hollabox?
Well, they're expanding it.
I know. Yeah. They own like a whole block now.
Dude, they're opening big ass like hotels hotels down in Sanford. They're building.
They need them for all the festivals and stuff.
They're building a gigantic new like restaurant and experience that's like a New Orleans style thing. And like
really,
it's
the
building
Jared Fogle experience.
It's
coming 2029.
It is. I mean, if it's not already, it's gonna be the Key West of Central Florida because there's so many unique bars and restaurants.
We should open a rooftop nude bar, just like old.
Yes.
What's that place called?
Can you get the government to?
It's a members
Sanford.
only type thing, right? I mean, you can't see. What's the name of that bar in Key West?
Yeah, but you can't even be completely nude in Orlando at strip clubs, so that's going to be an issue.
Well, this isn't a strip club.
You can.
This isn't a sex worker. These are just people that want to be nude and drink beer.
Yeah, well, you can there's nudist places.
What is
that
the
have
bar in Key West? This
It's-
is the nude one.
I'm about to say Heaven and Hell.
I was
It's,
going to say Paradise Island too. Eden Bar.
Eden Bar. Yeah.
Eden Bar.
I've been there every time I go down
Every
there.
time I go there too.
There's
yeah.
an old naked man.
Yeah, it's just
standing
old
there.
men with their ding
Why do you go?
Because I like
don't
to
know.
see that.
All right.
I like to see that too.
I'm not judging.
It's
Why do you guys?
It's what
limit-
America's about. Like it's
Old naked men. Yep,
It's
you're right.
free.
It's Garden of Eden. Yeah,
Garden of Eden. Yeah, but it
Eden
represents.
Bar is the one I think by Indian.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
That's what America is freedom. Like
Yeah.
do whatever you want. Like nude,
There is
not
something
nude.
very cool about going
gay,
up there.
straight.
I'm going up there. I order a beer. I turn around. There's an old man in a lawn chair.
Be whoever
Nude.
you want. America. You know what
Yeah, I
I'm saying?
like
Be
that.
whoever you want.
Yeah,
nude, anything.
You're not, as long as you're not bothering other people with your
No.
your nudity. But I remember it being weird. I remember being it really weird.
It's awesome. We should have a nude bar.
Well, you want to? Me and you'll work on it.
I don't know the politics.
Tom and
If
Dan.
they get mad.
Downtown Sanford historic nude bar, men only.
Bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler's here. We have a very special guest.
Yes, in studio, Mo DeWitt. How you doing, Mo?
Doing well. How you guys doing?
Good. There it is.
There it is. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Mo, we've adopted that as our
You know, we
official
never asked-
Mo
we
alarm.
never asked him about that.
No. It just happened and we rolled with it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just
Yeah, well, you made me. He leaned on me hard. He made me to the point like bullied me into pulling out the need we say
Right.
part, which is could quite possibly belong to another brand. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think this may
Or
fly.
maybe it is here and there.
Oh, yeah. So you're fine with that, right, Mo?
Sure, why
Okay.
not?
All right, there it is.
That is.
All right, we'll launch two.
So I got a question right off the bat for you, Mo.
All right.
And this has to do with
Gambling.
I had one that was going to begin.
But he put it second.
You know what?
He
I'm
put
going
it
to.
second because he knows it would piss me off.
We
if
do
he
have
went,
listener questions that we never got to last time because you had so many gambling
Who
questions.
cares about their
Okay.
questions?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what are they?
Yeah, what do they gotta do?
I mean, they're the ones that are
Please.
actually going to hire Mo.
They're like, help me. And
Yeah,
I'm,
my
"Oh,
divorce,
good."
my family, my kid. I'm like, oh
I'm
my
tired
god.
of hearing your whining.
I just want this guy to answer trivial, dumb legal questions like, can I drive barefoot?
And my cockamamie schemes.
Yeah, if I put
Is
my
this legal?
if my trash is at the curb, is that still my property? You know, like all the
Right.
heavy hitters.
So-
All the heavy hitters.
This has to do with, I feel like a societal mindset, and I'll explain.
He's using
Okay.
big words,
And it has to do with insurance, right? So,
which is gambling.
no, well, yeah, it is.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Insurance-
You asked a gambling or an insurance question last time.
If
Is it
you-
the same question,
If
Tom?
you have insurance, you are a gambler. That's exactly the same.
Yeah,
There's no
there
difference,
is no
and
difference.
it's a horrible gamble, by the way.
It's terrible.
Because you are
Never paid off for me.
There's no edge, and you are getting screwed. Anyway,
That's why I go to Hungry.
did
I'm going to Hungry for my breast implants.
I
I can get them like $35,000 cheaper, and I get a villa for 10 days. A villa for 10 days. Hungarian breasts.
So this is, and maybe you experienced this before. So I had a bad hailstorm, and
You're
then
gonna say I had a bad haircut.
You are going to ask the same question, aren't you?
is it? Well, no. But this is different.
And I'll use the money for anything I want. Last week's question, Tom Fan.
This is different because I made the claim against my homeowner's insurance because my roof was damaged. I used secured roofing. They came out there like, your roof is damaged.
Ask for Rick.
Make the claim. The insurance company's adjuster came out. Mm-hmm. He inspected the roof. He's like, it is messed up.
By the way, whenever I think of somebody when they're called an adjuster, I always envision a guy just moving his balls around. I'm sorry. I'm a child. I'm a baby.
And so, and then insurance company is paying for a new roof. I'm getting it through secured roofing. It's been an easy process so far.
Ask for Rick.
Now, and I understand it's coming from me too, so this is partly the problem.
Man,
but
you're really prefacing a lot here.
There is like a little embarrassment because then I put on the BDM page, I was like, I'm getting a new roof and secured, but I knew the jokes were coming.
Wait, so the court of public opinion is weighing out on Facebook on whether or not you are a scammier person because of what you've decided to do?
No, the BDMs are just busting my balls. I get
but
it.
You actually need a roof. You have holes in your roof, dude.
Yeah, but no.
Does your insurance?
They know. They're the professional. They sent the adjuster out.
Does your insurance cover raccoon damage?
Listen. They can't tell the difference between the raccoon damage. Hail, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like
the raccoon damage, and then the hail filled in the holes.
I promise there's a point to this. I felt a little embarrassed even telling the public.
Well, you had on a who farted hat.
That I made an insurance claim because I feel like not only with scams, but like the general sense, and maybe it's like big insurance, like making you feel guilty or whatever, you make a claim, but like the general sense, if you make a claim or whatever.
No, this is a good question. I have always felt
you're kind of like, you're hesitant.
Yeah, I was always felt, and I think my mom and dad probably perpetuated that feeling of you never claim because you'll lose your insurance.
Right.
Yeah,
so then you go into what's the point of having insurance if I'm never supposed to claim? Yeah. But there is a shame.
Which is false, by the way. But I imagine you get in a car accident, you're like, I'm hurt. I did have to go to the emergency room, but
these raccoons beat me up.
I have a deductible, but I had to pay it, and then I was off at work. But then
That's
you're
why
like,
if you're injured on the go.
But then I feel like people are like, I don't want to, sue anybody because but
it's just a little raccoon damage, man.
Or they're like, I don't want, they're hesitant. You find that people are hesitant to do it, even though it's 100% warranted. Like you were put out by this. This is the reason why you have insurance. Yeah. Why does it matter?
It's legit, yeah.
I mean, I think there's kind of been a marketing campaign by the insurance companies in some degree over the years to perpetuate that. I mean, I had a guy call me. I think he actually might be a BDM. And he called me after the accident.
I ain't got no shoes.
If it sounds like that, that's a medium.
Something like that.
Is he a fat guy with a beard? That's a medium.
I like craft beer. I love craft beer and action figures. I'm a nerd.
Number one fat guy with beard podcast.
Yeah. All right. But he called me after the accident. And he was hurt, and he had talked to the insurance adjuster. They said, "Oh, we'll take care of you, yada yada." And he called me back a week or two later. He goes, "Geico offered me $700. You're hired." And so, he was under the impression, he was like, he said the exact same thing. I don't want to make a claim because I don't want my rates to go up. And the insurance adjuster sounds like a nice person. They're going to take care of me, yada, yada. And he's like, that doesn't even cover my ER bill that I had to go, get.
Right.
Sure.
So, I mean, I think there definitely is a shame factor. I think the insurance adjuster, when you call them to make the claim, they kind of even perpetuate that of, oh, you don't need to get an attorney involved. They're just going to get these bogus doctors involved who are going to, put a Tom and Dan neck brace on you, and
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Did we order those?
Yeah. Travis, where's our neck braces?
Yeah, where are we at on that? Yeah. That means
I did the first one. They'll be outside.
Yeah, but I mean, I do a lot of videos on this. Like, there is a study by the insurance company. They did this study that said if you have an attorney, on average, you get over 3 times more than the person who doesn't have the attorney, and that's their own study. Who from the insurance industry. So. There's a reason why they say, oh, you don't need an attorney. Oh, we'll take care of this for you, that kind of stuff. And there's a reason why they try to, say, kind of shame you a little bit for making a claim, even though that's why you pay for insurance the entire damn time.
That's the contract.
Exactly.
Like
Because they're in the business to not pay out as much as
Right.
Like
you can get with a lawyer.
You're like, all right, I'm gonna pay $120 a month, and then that's what I pay in case something happens to me. And then the contract is, if something does happen to me, you have to pay me. That's why we.
Right.
And
Wow,
but there's
we must have hit a nerve. The chat room is a bubbling. Jeez, Louise, y'all. No. They're agreeing. They're just like the shame factor. You must be talking about me. That's why I sued. I'm seeing a lot of like people that are.
Thought they were just excited about the Tom and Dan neck brace.
Yeah.
Well, who isn't excited
Obviously.
about that?
And if you don't have someone to represent you, I feel you don't know all the rights, and you don't know
I thought
the
you were
legal.
going to say you don't know Mo.
So sure.
I thought you were going to weave it in there.
I just wondered if you experienced that too,
Oh, yeah.
where people are like hesitant to go forward because you're like, well, I'm an honest person, I don't want to. But it's like, yes, you're an honest person. This is an honest claim.
But guess
So-
what? Those insurance companies aren't always honest.
Right.
Well, and then,
But then the dishonest people then kind of
yeah, and then when someone calls me, they're almost hesitant. They think like, as the lawyer, I'm trying to trick them into doing something. I'm like, no, like, look, you go get better. You go see the doctor, get better. That's all you have to worry about. And then we'll submit your claim to the insurance company and make sure they pay fair compensation for whatever injuries you have. But a lot of times people are just so skeptical because there's so many kind of myths and misconceptions around the entire industry at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, people are just kind of uncomfortable with it in general.
Yeah, and,
I don't understand it.
Yeah, and
There's
Neither do I.
very little in my adult life.
don't say that.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
this is true.
We're on the air.
There's very little in my adult life, whether it be taxes, what Bernie does, what you do,
Yeah.
what anybody does for me that I understand.
Yeah, anything that adults do.
Yeah, I don't
Dan
really understand
He
that.
understands coloring, cartoons.
I do.
That's about it.
I can press these buttons. I know what these things are. I know lights.
So look-
switches. I'm a switch guy.
Let's go through some of the listener
Okay.
questions because
thought
Didn't
you
know we were
never
going to get
asked.
to those. So
No,
I
no,
kinda
no, I'm
mean,
sorry.
closed them out
I'm
there.
glad you tucked
Well,
that gambling question back in the old.
Listen, I wanted to ask it.
I know
We
you
do
did.
have one about, did we ever learn if it was legal to pay for a prostitute/adult actress for sex as long as it's filmed?
Butler's laughing because it's probably his question.
Wait, I stopped. Didn't ask my gambling question because of that.
This is a legal question.
That's
Wait.
worse than the gambling
This
one.
is a good question though, because at one time
We've asked this a million times.
we wanted to
Yeah.
film a porno.
Right.
During COVID, we
We-
freaked out and thought we're like, well, what can we use the studio for? And I'm like, people are gonna still need.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, I was like, still need stuff. We got lights, we got cameras. I'm a switch guy.
Dude, the first Drunky the Bear porno was like Logic Man came to Florida and he told me, he's like, yeah, as long as I film it, we could pay these actors. I put it up on Adult Friend Finder, and then
Yeah.
and
Sounds
then
like a Florida myth.
Yeah, put it up there. Clips for sale.
We did it like
Of course
it
you did.
happened.
Yeah, it's right there. We're driving barefoot.
I mean, there is some truth to that. Pornography is protected by freedom of speech, basically, and so just like when they shut down the strip clubs in Seminole County, over in Castleberry, or that area, over by the highway area. Not Castleberry, beautiful area full of castles.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
How many strip clubs you got over there in Castleberry?
Hold on. I can run to most. It'd be a far run, but it's there.
It's close.
Yeah, I mean, it's in running distance. It'd take me half of
I mean, but you were at one time the parking lot of Club Rana, so it's like a little different,
But if you remember, like when they passed that ordinance in Seminole County, then Club Wana started doing like nude Shakespeare.
Yeah, I was there opening night.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
But that's the same idea, basically. It's freedom of expression. It's protected by First Amendment. It's an art form. So if you film it, it is legal. A straight transaction for sex is prostitution. That's illegal. So fine line.
There you go.
Okay.
Also, to our Twitch chat room, and you can watch us every day, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. I'd like to remind Tracy it is early release, and you need to pick up your son.
Oh, yeah.
You need to go.
We should do a
Yeah.
daily early
Reminder
release
for
reminder.
all of our, because she just said it. She's, oh my God, I got 10 minutes to get to the bus loop. I mean, you better go.
I am not joking. We left our sons one time at the beginning when we weren't,
Hey, guess who left Maisie? And it wasn't Danny Denny.
Oh, yeah! Yes!
Why are you
Take that,
snitching?
you bitch!
My God. Do you want to go
Sorry,
to the next
but- yes,
question?
next question.
Next one.
How hard are defamatory lawsuits to prove? Same contractor that is failing our project and now has gone AWOL and not completing the project is now claiming defamation of character for warning people on social media to not use him.
So,
I like some scammy contractor, like defamation of character.
Which, by the way, he probably didn't even file any lawsuit. He's probably just saying he's
No.
going
Of
to. A
course
lot of
he
people
is.
do that.
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
How would I get off? Do you find that okay, you have a theory about this?
Well,
Would you like to-
the poor people love to scream, "I was going to sue you," and it's just the thing. It happens all the time, and they're never going to do it
No.
because they.
they can't.
Yeah.
They don't have the funds to do
They
it.
also
And
don't
that's
even-
what I yell back at them too. I'm like, "You're too poor to sue me."
Well, it's also they don't even understand
No.
the legal system. It's
I've
just-
never yelled
but
at them, or the thing I yelled about my wife. Never yelled either.
It's kind of like that, or I'm gonna f you up, bro. Like it's like that version,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
the legal version of that.
Man, that's funny.
I mean, every once in a while, I'll get either someone who calls me or emails me or blind copies me on an email that I've never spoken to, have no idea who they are, and clearly they've said, "My attorney Mo DeWitt is going to sue your ass."
Oh my God! Don't do that.
Hold on a second. That's actually a decent move because you put it up there in the
yeah, the CC, not the blind copy.
I'm
CC.
solid. That's a solid move.
I meant to apologize for that.
Yeah, my
I
God.
started CCing all.
Yeah, it was to
our
Bob that works in the storage unit. I know this. I know this one.
It was the boat storage guy. Some of our failed past clients never paid us. Oh, sorry.
Who would have known that you need contracts in business?
If I'm pulled over for a traffic violation and my window is down an inch or two, but they want me to roll down the window to check my tent, am I obligated to aid them in their investigation?
So usually you have to comply with all lawful orders. I don't think we answered the last question either, but
Wow.
Defamation, yeah, I mean, you have to show damage and
That it actually affected your
it affected
business,
you, and that
yeah.
opens up your whole life, and you have to disclose all sorts of things. Although
So it's fairly hard to.
it's fairly hard to prove, but
Yeah.
truth is always a defense to, if they're claiming that someone's defaming you.
Well, I was going to ask you, you are basically, you're good as long as you're telling the truth, right?
Right. If you're telling the truth, that's a pretty reasonable defense. And now with a lot of online reviews too, they basically come out and said and protected the person who's making the review, as long as it's not blatantly false
Right.
or blatantly deceptive, or you're really trying to harm someone's business, tortiously interfering with their business. It usually is protected by freedom of speech.
Gotcha. So, you could say whatever horrible things you want as long as it's true about someone publicly.
Yeah, I know there's a recent
Let
one
me
that
tell you
came
about
out.
this guy named Thomas Van. Horrible things.
Oh my God, what is he doing? I want to know.
I'm writing a book, a tell-all.
I knew I should have got you to sign that non-disclosure. They told me.
Basically,
listen.
for the tent, you kind of have to listen.
Yeah,
to what
if an officer is
officer
making a
says.
lawful order, you have to comply with it. Otherwise, they could arrest you for resisting arrest or not complying with the lawful order, and it's only going to escalate from there.
Yeah.
So you're probably better off just taking your tint ticket.
Yeah.
Right.
They have that machine, and then they put it on there. I've had it happen a couple times.
Yeah, now it still has to be a valid stop. They had to have a reason to pull you over. If they didn't have a valid reason, then you could challenge it later. But always your best bet is be compliant, be polite, comply with them to the best of your ability. Just ask them if
So-
you're free to go, and kind of go from there.
Is the rule that they can't pull you over strictly for the tent?
So typically, it's been a little while since I've looked into it. It used to be a secondary offense where they had to pull you over for something else, and then they could check your tint. I don't know if that's changed or not because, frankly, I haven't done one of those cases in a while.
Yeah.
Also, I like how people are like, "Well, you don't have any proof." Like they start saying semantics. Or like, "Why did you pull me over?" I'm virtually certain. I know if I was a cop, I'd have a bunch of things in my head that I know that were that you could be like, "Well, I."
I'd have 25 of them loaded.
Be like, I thought one of your taillights wasn't working.
I don't mean
loaded.
loaded.
Whatever
I wanna be
it
careful
is.
my phrasing.
You can't say I thought one of your taillights.
Well,
wasn't
I
working."
witnessed something.
Well, then you
there's
break
all
it out
these-
with your baton.
Okay.
No, but there's all these small things. You're like,
Crooked cops.
be
Yeah,
like,
small town cops.
why did you search my vehicle? I smelled marijuana. How could you
Right.
prove that he didn't? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? There's
Oh,
no
they
way.
do that all the time.
Yeah, but of course,
When you make a
that's
joke,
what you do.
you go, marijuana where? I'm kidding.
Like, how can you prove that a cop didn't think he smelled marijuana? Like, it's impossible. There's a loophole. He knows.
By the way, now
everybody
that-
knows the loophole.
Now that it's medical, man, there isn't a time that I don't smell marijuana. Everywhere I go.
Everywhere.
In public.
Everybody's driving and smoking.
I was in the ladies' restroom at Dr. Phillips. I smelled it.
dude, when my
Nobody picked
AC,
that.
I heard.
when my AC broke down, I had to drive with my windows down. at every stoplight. It was
Yep.
Bob Marley Festival.
It really
I was like, oh
is,
my
man.
God, everybody's smoking.
Everywhere you
Every
go.
stoplight,
And
every
then,
stoplight.
and then I look around. I've been riding my scooter. I'm on it today. I am wearing a helmet. Just want to point that out. I got some S from my wife and from listeners. And you know what? You guys are right. So I got my helmet on. I'm riding around, but everywhere on the scooter, straight up just weed everywhere. Everywhere I go. And then you look around and everybody's windows up, and I'm like, what am I smelling?
Well, so much.
That's what I think. It's just in the air now.
Maybe have time for one more. This one is from Tactical Hat. It says, can I put a non-reclaimable loss on my taxes due to someone borrowing an item for an extravagant period of time without returning it?
Oh, God.
That sounds like a Bernie question.
Yeah.
Direct that to him.
All right.
All right.
Forward that one to
Tactical.
Bernie.
I said I'll get it back to you before Halloween.
But you are, I
Oh
mean,
my
at
God.
this point, now, Mo, if Tom had borrowed something from you, and this, how long has it been now? Like, honestly, how long has it
Since
been?
Halloween.
Yeah,
so
But he got it before
he
Halloween.
did a little bit, but
No,
not
a week before
Yeah.
Halloween.
Okay,
it's
so a week before Halloween.
it was like October 21st.
7 months.
7 months. So if you borrowed something, or if Tom borrowed something from you, for like 7 months, I'm trying to just figure this out, like, because it does seem like you just don't care about him as a person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at some
Yeah.
point, it just becomes. It is.
It
at some
seems
point,
like that, but
Right.
I'll tell you why it is.
You
Okay.
can't say it seems like that. That means it is.
Would you feel that way, Mo?
It seems disrespectful.
If Tom had borrowed something from you, 7 months goes down, on, and of course you would never do that because he's a client of ours and you wouldn't want to look bad to the client. Tactical Hat, you
Tactical's
don't.
a BDM. He pays.
Yeah, but in
for
the
his
grand
membership.
scheme of things, he doesn't matter. And Tom,
Oh,
that's what Tom.
Tactical.
That's
No,
what
he's
Tom
given us
thinks.
thousands of
He
dollars.
has.
Yeah, but I mean,
But I think-
and
I
a
We're
think-
ring-
diamonds galore.
And
I
a
think he
fog
gave
machine.
us all his money, so no more. Like that well's dry, so I don't
Yeah.
care anymore.
And now he's not giving us money; he's giving us fog machines. And I don't want fog machines. I want money.
In fact, since I stole his fog machine, he stopped giving us money.
I know.
Maybe I'm hurting the company.
If you give it to him back, then we get the money again.
Yeah. It
Would
just-
you feel like you didn't matter as a human?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to borrow Mo's one wheel because.
What happened to yours?
Yeah.
No, but he's got the XR. He got the nicer one.
If I
My
bought you-
old jalopy stinks.
I was gonna buy you because I still haven't done my mom died freak out money gift.
Oh,
thing.
you're gonna buy me something?
I was gonna buy you something because sometimes
approve.
gifting somebody else something. Yeah, but would I get in trouble with your wife for giving you a new thing that'll take you away from her and the boys?
Who cares? I want that sweet one. Who cares?
Who cares?
I
Don't
want
care.
that one wheel. I want that one wheel. Sorry, Mo. Next time I'll ask you the gambling question. I just
Do you
I
want
wanna
to? You
know
want
if
to
I-
tease everybody?
I
So
just want to know if I could bet,
next time Mo's on the show.
if I could legally, openly on my gambling Facebook page, like start betting other BDMs in there. And just like friendly bets, but a lot of them, like
Thousands.
Yeah, because some people they'll give me, they'll be like, Brady's the best, and like they'll be like, the line is 4, and they'll be like, I'll give you 10, and we'll step, and then I'm like, oh, you're gonna be 10 points, like it's insane edges that I could bet these BDMs with and make money off them. But then I was like, well, if there's so much money being passed back and forth,
And you've got this huge
is it
digital paper trail of all these transactions, right?
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not a bookie. I'm just betting lots of people.
So you're doing the same exact thing as a bookie, but you're just not calling yourself a bookie.
It's all that I'm just friendly betting
Well, I mean,
hundreds of people.
But people bet all the time, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
is it only? I mean, I'll
that's
blow up
what
everybody's, but Jack Bradshaw runs a squares game.
I guess that.
There, how about that? Let's blow it all up then.
Yeah. They do, but you're right.
Jim Colbert has poker. He's poker betting crazy.
There's thousands of dollars there. But
Jeez.
so thousands.
Very angry.
And there's clients there from the radio station.
Don't.
And
What are you
underage
doing?
drinking. There's underage drinking there.
No, don't say that.
Definitely marijuana.
Underage drinking and illegal marijuana. They don't even have medical license.
You should have told them that it was hard for defamation suits.
Release the wolves. Repeat.
Anyway.
Release the wolves.
That's just a glimpse of what we're going to ask you next time. Just think about it. All right. JustCallMo.com.
My license hasn't been valid in years.
Injured on the go, just call Mo.
I was slow. I was slow on the mo.
Bye-bye.